All right, so picking up from the last video, I've got Lotek with me from the Discords, and we're gonna cover what happened to him with the bots as well. And I've already covered what happened to me with the bots buying at the top with these bad trading view signals, and we could find out what happened to Lotek with his bots. You wanna summarize what you were
Well,
using?
hmm, I'd kind of slowed down on my botting um, over the summer and started doing more swing trades. But I left a little USD on like uh, Binance US or whatever, and didn't want to just have it sit there or lose value or whatever. So I would run some bots on it, but I ended up getting stuck with stuff I didn't want because I was trying to buy the most volatile coins, and then I end up with like $1,000 of some bullshit that I was like, well, fuck, I guess I'm a holder of this now.
Yeah, that's exactly the same thing that I did. Um, like I was trading OMG because it was so volatile, but it was always going up or it was doing well.
Mm-hmm.
And then the same thing with Filecoin, ETC, LTC. Um, I think I got out of some of them with luck, with at a profit, but the profits were wiped out. A lot of the profits were wiped out by these bad ones.
Say something funny
And
though. I, oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
no, I finished the sentence.
Okay. But today I started botting Bitcoin, just small, like just Bitcoin, and taking profit in crypto. And my plan is this is my stack stat spot. Whatever it makes in the week, I'm taking it off the exchange.
Hmm. Well, they're with them devaluing the currency. It almost seems like even just holding solid coins would be more profitable than holding US dollars in any form,
Yeah.
or depending on what country you're in, because we've gotten our prices in the past 2 years have gone up like probably 40%. You know,
Right.
avocados are now $2. Just it's crazy,
Midwest prices.
huh?
That's Midwest prices. Freaking avocados are like $4 here now.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
yeah. So, in terms of buying the dip, I've noticed, I've watched these things and I'm thinking, wait a minute, it's not good to buy the first dip, not even necessarily the second dip, but if you can buy like the third or fourth dip, then you might be in a better place.
It
Well, it
when
depends.
we're
It depends.
when we're like underneath the daily 200, or when you're just like in a bearish downtrend or even trying to recover, it, it's hard to buy the dip. You have to watch TA, and you have to look for this. Gonna sound like I know what I'm talking about, but I'm hearing people talk about this deceleration on the 4 hour chart where you just like start seeing longer wicks underneath it. It's like that is how you buy the dip. You watch for these signals, and then hopefully you're gonna get right.
Mm-hmm. Um,
But I think that I can do it better than a bot. Plus, if I mess up, it's my mistake, and I don't get to blame the bot for taking a loss. You know what I mean? It makes me more accountable, I think.
yeah. Um, but there's the problem of these things are 24/7, and if you've got a set of solid
Mm-hmm.
coins, if you got a set of
Yeah.
solid coins, maybe I don't know if Solana is solid. I thought it was, but I'm not even sure anymore. But I mean, in the case of Solana, it would. I mean, I'm looking at the chart and it looks like it's a good buy. Like if you go a certain deviation down from one of the EMAs, whether it's 34 or 50 or whatever. Like you remember that CM EMA I told you
Mm-hmm.
about. When it deviates down a certain percentage under it, it looks like it's a good buy because then you just wait for it to spring back up because it's always bouncing up and down along that.
Oh yeah, it's in the daily squeeze right now too.
Oh, I don't have a. Oh yeah, that was I was maybe we could cover that in a video too. Is EMA setup that would be a good indicator, or your maybe share your screen and show us your EMA setup.
Sure. Let's see. And I have to drag it to this
All right.
teeny tiny monitor.
And my videos aren't getting a lot of views, so don't worry about like the whole market starting to use our strategies because hardly anybody's watching. So what was that indicator called that I have to find that. There was a certain indicator I think we were discussing where hold on, I'll find the name of it.
Oh man, this stream is gonna suck. It's only 720 at 30.
Can you share for better text readability? Or we could try doing do you think the resolution will be better in a private call?
Probably. Let's do that.
All right, try it.
All right.
All right, so try sharing your screen and let's see how it looks. Can you hear me?
Nope.
No, what? Same resolution?
Still 2030.
Oh. Well,
We could
Crypto Ape
probably.
Crypto Ape headquarter has a lot of boosts, so
Do they have any one-on-one rooms?
What? Say again?
I said, do they have any one-on-one rooms?
Oh,
See?
I doubt it. I don't think we'll get disturbed much. But if we do, I think they'll be courteous because it's a good Discord.
Okay. Yeah. Right.
All right. All right. I unpaused.
Okay.
I haven't found that indicator yet.
Which one?
I thought I had it written down. It's the one that has all the EMAs where you can have it compare SMAs, EMAs, and it'll show you the price required for the certain EMA SMA to cross. It might be.
CT-Mac.
Is it CT-Mac?
Yeah, it is. It's just this info box that I have turned off.
CT-Mac. CT moving average crossover indicator.
Yep. One of the cool things that you can, if you know the exact short name, you can search for it because it'll come straight up.
Right. Yeah, I had this customized, but now it's just gone. I have to start over. I want to get the color. The colors are terrible for its current state. Like it's just not the best for readability. But yeah. All right. Yeah. So it seems like, I mean, during that bull run, the bots were very profitable, but even more profitable was just buying and holding.
Yeah.
That was like kind of like, you kind of kicking yourself because you paid for I paid for 3commas, because I thought, oh, this is profitable, but meanwhile, if I just bought at a certain level and then sold at a certain level, I could have made double, triple, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas the bots, it's just like these small profits constantly, and then the bots get trapped, and you're screwed. Like it's just like wasn't a good scene. Plus, even if you are trading the best coins, if you get a blow off top or some big crash, you're now holding at a loss. But maybe there's a way of programming these bots so that the 3commas bots, so that maybe the stop loss is something to use.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure though.
I haven't been able to find a decent back tester. I spent a couple hours on it one evening this week trying to back test and find a good signal because I was wanting to start this stack stat bot idea that I was going to do. Where I started running, taking profit in Bitcoin with like 15% coverage on a Bitcoin drop. Because like, how often does it drop more than 15%? Like, not very much. And if it does, then okay, I hold some Bitcoin. Well, the worst things have happened, right? So I think that this bot that's running so far, it's making me like $5 or $6 a day, which is I was thinking about bots wrong. Like you're not gonna get rich on them, but this thing, if it's making me $5 or $6 a day in Bitcoin, that's gonna add up, and that's just like free Bitcoin, right? Like,
yeah, but if you can make that much, the problem is I don't even know if you can make that much reliably because
well, correct. When you have to be in the extreme volatile stages. Like I think that running bots all the time is a mistake, but I think that they have their place, and I've learned a couple tricks, and this is another one that I'm trying out, and like it's really small. Like it only has $500 or $600 max for the whole bot.
what are you
So,
what are you trying out? Just the Bitcoin 3commas? Bitcoin 3commas bot? Is it
yep.
Is it a grid bot or
No, it's just a DCA.
oh.
Here, let me see if I can.
What's your signal?
ASAP.
Okay. Well, yeah, my concern with that kind of thing is it can buy at these high levels and just never get out of it.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like you can't just run them all the time. I think that running a Bitcoin like I'm running right now, when it's consolidating, it is great. And if you set it to be max drawdown of what you think is reasonable or where you think it's going to rip down to, then fantastic. Just watch the charts. I mean, it's not like we're snoozing on charts. You can't bot and snooze on charts. That's just like a myth.
Well, in the case of Bitcoin, it seems like you could do a bot that's consistently profitable if it's based on a RSI crossing upward. Like if it's, say, for example, 35 RSI.
Or on what time frame? Doesn't really matter, I guess.
Well, that's kind of something you got to analyze.
Yeah.
I haven't really analyzed it, but at least maybe on daily. Well, yeah, it's just something I'd have to sit down and look at all crosses of the RSI where the Bitcoin price was when it crossed a certain threshold, say 35, for example, and then you can do it where it's like, okay, when it crosses upward from the 35 RSI, buy. And then that way it's kind of in a recovery mode where it's coming back up, and then maybe it will buy it. Or it'll buy it, and then maybe it'll proceed upwards a little more, and you take the profits. Maybe whether it's a trailing take profit or just a regular take profit, and then just wait, because then at least, even though it's going to be taking the trades less often because it doesn't cross the 35 RSI that often, but at least you're not going to get stuck at a high level like at Bitcoin at 58,000 or Bitcoin at 61 whatever, because your buy ASAP could be disastrous if it's bought it at 61,000 on the way down, and it just keeps going down and down and down, and now you're stuck in it because it bought on November 18th or whatever, November 16th at 61,000, and it just never came back.
Okay.
That's if you were trading Bitcoin.
The November
16th.
November 16th. Okay.
Just as an example, or even anything on the way down from there, like where it just those large red candles that are just.
So, I don't have a strategy for it, but like, what would be an awful ASAP spot? How about here, right? So, I have it set for 15% drawdown. Like,
yeah.
So, I also have it putting in a safety order every like 1.5%, because I kind of want it to build up and take up the as many safety orders as it can, really. But as soon as it gets down, it'll get. I'm only looking for like a 1.5% with a trailing take profit of like 0.25%. So if I get one of these and it does one of these, I have a decent chance of getting a couple percentage points on a trailing take profit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe.
When your trailing take profit's that low, though, it seems like you're going to have to use larger amounts of money to get a decent return.
Yeah. But see, that's it. I'm not trying to make a ton of money with it. I'm just trying to make free DCA Bitcoin money. It's just going to go into a wallet every week.
Because $5 a day doesn't seem worth it at all to me. It's just. It depends who you are and what you have.
Yeah, but like,
try to be I want this to try to be as profitable as possible while minimizing risk and all that, of course.
Yeah, but for like the last 2.5 weeks, I've taken almost no trades.
Well,
because I was just getting chopped up.
And because Bitcoin or whatever crypto is so volatile, it seems like the safety orders should be set at larger drawdowns, like say every 3% or every 5% down, and then get the safety orders larger and larger as you go down, so that when
it's like a bigger pool, and when it dumps, you're stuck with more coin. I want to make a small profit on as big of a volume order as possible.
Yeah, I'm trying to. If it's possible, I'm just wondering if there's a way to make it so that you're just always getting out in profit. But say at a minimum 2% profit, and while at the same time being able to deal with these drawdowns. And perhaps stop losses are going to have to come into play on that. But actually, like for instance, on that, if we're looking at the 4 hour, on that December 3rd major drawdown, the RSI crossing back upward signal would have been a great signal because it would have already drawn down by, well, let me zoom in. Let me see, it's showing your screen, not mine, but that's okay. Anyway, the drawdown on Bitcoin was 18%, and then the RSI was coming back up to crossing back upward on the 2930 RSI. It was crossing upward at that point. And then the profit would have been like, it would have been easy profit. It was just like it went up.
What day? And
it was I looked at a big drawdown. So if you look on the 4 hours, zoom out on Bitcoin.
Okay.
Just zoom out.
Like this.
I don't see any dates on your chart. Let me see.
Can you see it down here? January 22nd, January 20th.
Yeah, I mean, take any day that's got a big drawdown. Yeah, I mean, that's a big drawdown, right? And where's your RSI? Which one is your RSI there?
Get this on the daily. This is the RSI.
Okay, so if you had a signal that was across, like if your signal was when RSI crosses back up over a certain number, say whatever, 30, 35, or what have you.
So here's 40. I can do. Could hold this bullet control zone. Somewhere. I think it's in here. First build alert, no.
You could just take a plain RSI, like the standard.
Yeah.
Just hide that one and
I'll just add it real quick.
Show up a system simplified something that's simple.
Oops. Boy. Okay. So here's a 30.
Yeah.
So it drops down.
Zoom out on your price action so we can see more of it. Zoom out. Yeah, that's better. Okay. So, like, let's say you have this massive drawdown and your RSI, like, there's these big opportunities because it's a major drawdown and then a big spring back up, and your RSI, when it crosses back up, when your RSI is crossing back upward, that's when the price is springing back up from the big drawdowns. When the RSI went really low and then it's coming back up, and then you have a chance for you have a better chance for profits and less of a chance to get wrecked. Instead of buying all the time, you're taking advantage of the fact that, well, no, I'm not going to say fact. You're taking advantage that most times when you have a big drawdown, it springs back up, recovers to some extent.
Yeah, like
so even at the worst, scenarios, yeah.
Where is it? Nope, I need to go back more. May.
You can want to zoom out a little bit to give you maybe on the daily and just zoom out so you can see the price action on a bigger scale.
Yeah, this is what I was looking for, though.
Okay.
This is about as zoomed out as I can get on this small screen.
I mean, daily. Just kind of zooming out more. in a way.
Well, yeah, okay.
Yeah. So
So like
then
this is so many days of price action though. Like this is the daily.
that's
If
okay
I
though.
bought if I bought here and I have 15% coverage, like look, it's already bounced up here, and then it would ASAP buy again, right? So 15% drop.
Yeah. If the, yeah, okay. If I guess maybe we ought to look at it on a really short time frame, but zoom out because perhaps the bot can buy and sell within a very short time, making profit because it's just wicking up and down. It's just volatile.
Mm-hmm.
Period. I was thinking in terms of hourly, daily, but maybe I should think about how the candle just goes up and down within a short, whatever, the 5 minute candle, the 15-minute candle. It's just going up and down.
Yeah, let
Um,
me go look at this area on the 15. Yeah, man, I think I found where you can just type in a date. So yeah, here we go. Mm-hmm. May 18th. Boom, here we go. I can just like grunt it so it. Yeah, but then this RSI looks stupid. Let me. I can do something though. Let's add RSI multi time frame. Maybe we can find one that'll show us the daily RSI on a 15-minute scale or something. This one might even let us.
so yeah, I think
Here we
if
go.
your if your if
There
your
we go.
target if your target profit's small, then it can be going in and out quickly on the same candle because
Mm-hmm.
it's just going up and down by a certain amount constantly, and perhaps if you're lucky, you're not going to get stuck. I'm trying to ensure maybe a little more profits and lower risk, and you're
And
actually
not have to
quite a
watch
bit
it.
well, quite a bit more profit. Yeah, not really have to babysit, and
Okay.
actually quite a bit more profit because if it's 3% versus you have the opportunity if it's a trailing take profit of maybe you even make 10% if you get lucky or something, or
Mm-hmm.
versus these tiny $5 a day things. I'd rather make
Yeah.
a lot of money
I,
but maybe per week.
see, what
um,
I'm doing is I've got like $600 dedicated to this little bot
mhm.
that I'm just going to use to suck Bitcoin off of the exchange, and the rest of the money I use to swing trade.
Mhm.
Um, I
But
I don't know. My whole goal is to get more Bitcoin,
right.
not more dollars. So that
Yeah. This the strategy that I'm trying to get at is taking advantage of those big crashes because
mm,
they're always springing up to an extent from those big crashes, and those are when I see the most profits potential. It's like, oh, I'm constantly missing them. It's like, oh wow, it dove 20% and then it rebounded 10%, or and it's just like, I just want to automate taking advantage of that because I mean, that's how the market makers make their money, right? Is by making big
so
crashes. And
would you rather just like not be in a trade most of the time, just waiting for crashes?
um, probably depends on the coin because
Yeah.
the more volatile coins, I mean, the ones that are going up at, Bitcoin's kind of what the slowest moving, where it's, or one of the
Mm-hmm.
slowest. So in the case of Bitcoin, it seems like it's like you want to get you want to get as big a profits off each trade as possible with the lowest risk. So I guess kind of be a study of, okay, let's study the RS. I mean, I'm not saying do it now, but I mean, for someone's personal bot that they're doing, just look at those RSIs and see, okay, where is this RSI crossing the most? And because I want to, but at the lowest level where it's frequently crossing, and is the price action good so that, like, if it were the 35, crossing upward over the 35, just as an example, would I be able to have a profitable bot with that? I think you can back test it. Actually, I think there are back testing. There was a site that Kane was showing me actually, where he plugged in the criteria and showed the historical profits. I forgot the name of the site, but probably could be found. Not too hard.
So this EMA on the RSI. This is a daily RSI. And this is a hourly chart, just so we can see all the candles and stuff. And this is a 4-hour RSI. So when we have a big dump, look, this RSI dropped down below the 30, right? Anytime it does that, you know it's going to shoot up. Look at the price action in this. This is like legendary. Down 26%, and then up 43%. Like, holy man. Imagine if you could automate that. So
with the wicks, though, we have to look at a shorter time frame to see if the bot could even reasonably get that. Because I've set prices. There have been times, I'm sure other people have experienced this too, where they set a price at a certain level. It indeed wicked down to that level and even went past it lower, but they didn't get their order filled. So those wicks don't mean that you're getting that. Somebody may have gotten it. I don't know who, but so probably have to look at it on a shorter time frame, like the 5-minute or something, to see if it stayed down there long enough that a bot could actually grab it, or if it's just one of those things that we don't get. We being retail traders or bots.
Anytime that I've thought that I missed an order, it was always something that I'd done wrong. Like setting a trailing order on 3commas, using a market and setting it to be a bid when it should have been an ask, or some dumb thing like that, and it just never fires. You should just do a limit.
I just had another idea, is that you could also do it where you have one bot where it's crossing upward over the 35, and then you have another bot that's the same coin but crossing up over the 25, so that you're getting those deep crashes, and then you're also getting the sort of more common, more often crashes.
Mm-hmm.
That might be profitable as well, because crossing up on the 25, that happens a lot less frequently, but when it does happen, you got a nice profit, and you can have the target take profits set accordingly, like whatever 20% or something.
But let's look at this. So here I made a line roughly on the 35 and the 25.
Mm-hmm.
And this is 4-hour RSI on the 4-hour chart. So this silly indicator here that oversold. I'm going to turn that off for a second. And turn this on too. Okay. But this RSI comes up, it crosses over the 25, and it comes back and checks on this EMA. You'd think this would be a really good signal this this handle right here. If we could get a bot to do a
You don't even need to necessarily get out on that same few hours. You could wait for it to go up further because it just will in this case.
Yeah, it would, but it would draw down first.
That's okay. It'll tip a safety order. You'll grab more, maybe
Oh,
even exponentially more, and then it'll go back up.
The dream is being able to like translate these signals into buying Bitcoin that you know are going to rebound like 5 times harder than Bitcoin does.
Yeah.
But then maybe not. That's where I get greedy on bots, and that's where I'm rethinking my approach to bots.
Well, you could do it on a coin that okay, let's say it were OMG or pick a coin, whatever. Let's say it's a coin that follows Bitcoin but is 5 times more volatile. So anything Bitcoin does, it does 5 times worse or 5 times better. So in that case, you could use the Bitcoin RSI signal if that's what you were to choose. And when it takes I think you can probably do a webhook for this, but it's like if Bitcoin RSI crosses upward on the 25, then buy this other coin, and perhaps then you'll get your bigger profits, but it'll follow Bitcoin. So it's like if its price action is tied to Bitcoin, as many coins are, then you can sort of get your leverage profits in a way.
Yeah, that was another thing that I was kind of thinking of doing now that you can run DCA bots on KuCoin, is they have those leverage tokens where if you want to get wrecked real fast, you can run leverage token bots. You could theoretically put, a third as much money in there, or, maybe half as much, and get the same kind of profit, and just realize that at some point you might have to close a deal and lose some profit, or maybe even a stop loss that makes sense on a bot like that.
I'm gonna pause the stream. Actually, I'm gonna stop the stream. I'm gonna test the volume to make sure we're not echoing or anything like that. I should have done this at the beginning, but just a moment.